Hello YouTube and welcome back. Today we're doing sections chapter 1, section 1, so 101, and chapter 1, section 2, 102. There are no problems in 101. In 101 we're just talking about what is a set. A set is a collection of objects. It could be your favorite toys, it could be your stamp collection, whatever it is. But when we list out a set, the order doesn't matter. So the set AB and the set BA are the same. They don't count as two separate sets. Let's see. What else? Oh, and repetition doesn't matter. So like AAB and ABB and AB are all the same. So we don't like to repeat. And so the order doesn't matter. We don't like to repeat. And it just lists out a collection of items. It could be a bunch of numbers, this set of positive integers. It could be a bunch of letters, the letters of the alphabet. It could be whatever. Okay? So 102 also asks what's a function. Now a function is a mapping from one set we call the domain to another set we call the range. All right. And if we pass a vertical line test, in other words, it's exactly one and only one range value for every domain value, we have a function. So let's do 102 then. CSH102, chapter 1, section 2. There were no questions in 101, so just doing the questions in 102. The date was the 9th, but I haven't been able to record this until the 17th. Oh my God. So here it is, the 17th. And your name. All right, and so we were doing stuff like this. We were saying, number one, we were given the set AB. Question is, can you list out how many subsets there are? So there's like no code here. Find the subsets of that set, right? And so we figured out from the reading that the subsets include the set itself, the empty set, again the order here doesn't matter, but the empty set meaning nothing in it, and the set with just like A in it and B in it. That's it. So if you have two, if the cardinality of your set is 2, in this case there's 2 objects, that's what cardinality means, how many things in it, there will be 4 subsets. Okay, so we're talking about sets, subsets, eventually functions, domains, and ranges. Now, if you evaluate this, notice it's only comments, there's no code, right? So, sort of like, I want to have something output. So guess what? I'm not just going to make this a comment. I'm going to make this a string that I'm going to show. This will be my label, just so it has some kind of output. And the same thing here. So it's sort of silly, but now we have some output. Wait, I didn't put the open quote. There you go. So there's output 2. There you go. That's all. Fine. That's it. All right. Now I'm going to do a blank line, so that we separate the outputs from each other too. Sorry, this is still question number 1. All right. So here's question number 2. So I'm going to show this. I'm going to say, okay, number 2 says, given a set with the cardinality of 3, let's say 1, 2, 3, okay, how many subsets can you figure out? Well, let's find out. So show, quote, number 2 continued. All right, well, again, the empty set and the set itself, right? Also, the singletons, just the 1, just the 2, just the 3, but also sets of cardinality 2. How about 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and what else? 2 and 3? Does that cover all bases? Because 3 and 1 is the same thing, right? So 2 and 3. So the question is, how many did you get? Well, we've started off with a cardinality of 3. We end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 outputs. So we did this with 4. I don't want to write it all out. We figured out there's a pattern. If the cardinality is 2, you get 2 to the n subsets, 4. Cardinality is 3, you get 2 to the 3 subsets, 8 subsets. If the cardinality is 4, the number of elements in your set, the number of subsets is 2 to the 4, or 16. So let's write a little conclusion. Show, quote, number 2, conclusion, find subsets. So the conclusion would be, if a set has cardinality n, the number of subsets is 2 to the n. All right, so that's our observation, in other words. And let's see if our output looks okay. And there it is. Okay, fine, nice. Notice a little blank show here. Okay, so separating the outputs, it's easy to read. And this is sort of separating the inputs too, because you got 1 here, and then sort of nothing, and then 2 here. All right, so let's do the nothing thing again. All right, 3. 3 says, can you map a domain of cardinality of 5 to a range with a cardinality of 5? Can you get a function out of that? All right, so let's see. Show number 3. Can you map, I don't know, I'm going to make something. 2, 4, I'm going to make up stuff. 3, 5, 9. Again, the order doesn't matter. Can we map that to a range of 5, cardinality of 5? How about A, B, C, D, E? They didn't specify the actual set, so I'm just making up stuff. So let's see. Well, what does that mean? For every input, there's one and only one output, right? So what if I say, okay, let's define this function. We're just going to make up something. What if 2 maps to E? If you input 2, you get the output E. Okay. What if I said, let's say 4 maps out to A? Is that okay? Have we violated the rule that for every one input, there's only one unique output? No. And if we plug in 3, let's say we get D. So far, so good, right? We can do it. And if we plug in 5, whoops. What happened here? We plug in 5. I plugged in 2, 4, 3. I got to do 5 and 9. Okay. So if we plug in 5, let's say we get C, right? And if we plug in 9, we plug, what's left? We haven't used B. So yeah, we could do it. Well, what if we said this? That's a function, right? For every input, there's only one unique output, but you didn't map to the entire cardinality of 5 elements to the range. So that doesn't answer the question either. Okay. What if you did this? I don't know. Is that okay? Again, you don't have the entire cardinality of 5 objects. You only have 4 objects in your input. But the problem is that 2 maps to 2 different answers. The answer is not unique. That's not a function. We don't like that. So this is good, but those other, but this would be bad. This would be bad. This would be bad, right? Okay. Whoops. 4. So we're going to say that this is a function. Is a function. There. Is a function. Okay. All right. So whoops. I want to put that in the quotes. Better close the quotes. And let's output that. And that's, so in other words, if I just did hashtag, just comments, no shows, there would be no output, which is okay, I guess. But if you want to have some nice output, you can print out. There you go. That's nice. All right. So that's the first 3. All right. Let's try some more. Let's do a blank show again. Here's number 4. All right. Number 4 says, can you map a domain of cardinality 3 to a range of cardinality 2? All right, so again, let's make up something. How about a cardinality 3 would be, I don't know, 2, 7, 25. Can we map that as a function, in other words, to a cardinality of 2, let's say, I don't know, A and B? Let's see if we can do it. All right, so I'm going to copy this, but it's number 4. And we want to say, okay, what if we plug in 2 gets us an output of B? All right, let's see if it's like that. And this is number 4. Okay. All right, so if we plug in 2, we get an output of B. Okay, that's all right. No, so far it's a function. It's not mapping everything yet, though. What if we plug in 7? Let's say we get A. Let's say the output is A. All right, so far so good. But we didn't map the entire cardinality of the domain. So what does that mean? Well, we're going to have to use another range value. range value again. So 25 could map to A or B, and that would be a function. So yeah, that is a function. That's okay. As long as you don't repeat the inputs, as long as it doesn't say 2, 2 or 7, 7, yeah, that's bad. All right, so we're going to say that that's a function too. Is a function. Well, how about this? Is this a function? And you say, if that's the question, the answer is yes. And so how about this? Is this a function? Is this a function? If we define it that way, as we did below, the answer is yes. Okay. So how about, all right, so let's see if the output's okay. Number 4, okay. Okay. All right, number 5. Here's a blank show. And now number 5. Number 5 says, can you map us a domain with cardinality 3 to a range of cardinality 4? In other words, you got to use all 3 elements in the domain and map to all 4 elements in the range. You got to use them at least once each, right? All right, so let's say show number 5. Let's say is let's use the same domain 2, 7, 25 mapped to, okay, let's say 4 elements, A, B, C, D, whatever you want. Is that a function? That's the question. Let's find out. So show number 5 continues. So let's say 2 maps onto C. Okay, that's fine. But notice I have to use the 2, the 7, and the 25, right? Okay, so let's say that 7 maps onto A. Okay, so if you input 7 into this function, you get A as your output. All right, fine. And say 25 maps to, I don't know, D. So 25 maps to D. All right, but you didn't answer the question. In other words, you didn't use the entire range. You didn't use all 4 units, all things in the range, right? So what does that mean? You're going to have to repeat one of the inputs, let's say 2, and map that to one of the outputs, say C. And the problem is, no, not C. What did we use? We didn't use B. All right, so we use the entire range, but the problem is to do that, you have to repeat the input. So if you input 2, you get C, and you put 2, you get B. That's not a function. So no, right? You have to have a unique output. For every one input, there's exactly one output. Okay. All right, that's it for number 5. And then number 6, can you map the set of all integers to 3 outcomes? Let's see. So let's do a blank show. By the way, this number 5 looks okay. Yep. Okay. So show number 6. I wanted the set of, all right, let's map the set of all integers to 3 outcomes. So the output, the cardinality of the output is is 3, but the cardinality of the domain, the input, is uncountable. You can't count it. It's infinite. It's infinitely large. So how would you do that? Well, we hashed out a whole bunch of different ways, but the most obvious way I think we figured out in class is, what if your input is negative, say x is your input, and that's negative, less than 0, let's say that your output is -1. Okay, so in other words, there are 3 kinds of integers: positive, negative, or neither, right? What if you plug in 0? Let's say we get an output of 0. And what if we input a number greater than 0, in other words, positive? Let's say we output +1. There is a function like this, I think, in Python called sig or signum. Is that right? Wait, let me see if I can remember this. Show quote. Whoops. Where am I? Sig num, I think it's sig num, of, I don't know, -3 equals, let's see, sig num of -3. I think that should give you -1. Does that work? No, no such thing. Okay, how about just sine? Is there such a thing as a sine function? There it is. So if you plug in a negative, any negative, you're going to get -1. There you go. If you plug in 0, you're going to get 0. So there is such a function. Okay, good. So if you plug in 0, you get 0. And if you plug in any positive number, let's say positive 50, remember, this is just the label for your output, so there is a little bit of output for this one. And how about negative, I don't know, 33, 32, fine. So this output should still be -1, this output is 0, this output should be +1, let's see. -1, 0, +1, perfect, that's it. So that describes the function. That function exists. If you're doing standard Python, like in Trinket or in idle, you have to import math and it would be math.sine. Okay. But again, this is not standard Python. That imports are sort of hidden for you. Okay, so there's the first 3 questions. And the next 2 and the last one. And there's your output. So what's interesting about this is if you print from here, you're only going to see what's in this one cell, because it's not a multi-cell notebook like regular CoCalc. But if you print this, you're going to get all this output, so that's nice. So if you want the output, you can print from here. If you want the input, you got to print this from, like, say, Notepad or something, copy it over to Notepad. And save your work, right? Okay, so that's the first 6 questions. We'll do the other 6 questions in Screencast 102B. Let's call this CSH102A. How about that? Okay, so we'll record that next time. So bye-bye, YouTube. See you next time.